Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Today I am again with you with another topic for class 12th students, that is electric power and electric energy. Today we are going to discuss these two factors related to current electricity. As you know, power, the definition of power, you already know the rate of doing work is called power. The rate at which work is done is called power. Similarly, the rate at which work is done by the source of EMF in maintaining the current in the circuit is called the electric power of the circuit. The source is always in the form of cell or generator. The rate at which work is done by the source of EMF in maintaining the current in the circuit is called the electric power of the circuit. If a current of I, if a current I flows through a conductor for time t seconds under a potential difference of V, that is when the EMF of the cell is V, then work done to maintain the current in the circuit is given by V. W is equal to VIT, because I have told you in chapter 1, that is electrostatics, the definition of potential is W by Q. So W is equal to VQ, but QI is equal to QT. If you substitute the values of these uh, in W is equal to VQ, you will get W is equal to VIT, because from I is equal to QT, we get Q is equal to IT. So instead of writing here W is equal to VQ, for Q we substitute Q is equal to IT, and we get W is equal to VIT. Now electric power is equal to work done by time. So work done by time means electric power is denoted by P. So P is equal to W by T, which means P is equal to VIT divided by T. T and T will cancel. It means P is equal to V into I. So electric power is equal to the product of potential difference V and the current I flowing through the circuit. Also, we know that V is equal to IR from Ohm's law, and if we substitute for V is equal to IR in equation first, that is P is equal to V into I, we get P is equal to IR into I, which means P is equal to I square R. Again, V is equal to IR, which means V by R is equal to I. So if we substitute for I in equation first, we get P is equal to V into V by R, which means P is equal to V square by R. So these are the three equations for electric power. Here V is in volts, I is in amperes, T in seconds, and power P is in watts. So let me define 1 watt power. If V is equal to 1 volt and I is equal to 1 ampere, then power is 1 watt. Then power is 1 watt. You can calculate it from equation first, where P is equal to V into I. If V is 1 volt, I is 1 ampere, then P is 1 watt. Thus the power of an electric circuit is said to be 1 watt if a current of 1 ampere flows through it under a potential difference of 1 volt. Under a potential difference of 1 volt. Now bigger units of power are kilowatt, megawatt, etc. 1 kilowatt is equal to 10 raised to power 3 watt, and 1 megawatt is equal to 10 raised to power 6 watt. The commercial unit of power is horsepower. That is 1 horsepower is equal to 746 watt. Is equal to 746 watt. This is 1 horsepower. As most of you know that when we bring an electric motor from the market, it is in horsepower. We say that it is 1 horsepower or it's in 2 horsepower. It means that it will consume 746 watts of electric energy. Now let us discuss what is electric energy. Again, let me tell you the definition of energy. You have read it in class 9th. Energy, the capacity of the body to do work is the ability of the body to do work is called energy. So here electric energy, the total work done. So energy is related to work done. If you have to find the expression for any kind of energy, you have to calculate the work done. So that work done will be uh, equal to the energy. So here in electric energy, the total work done or energy supplied by the source of EMF in maintaining the current in an electric circuit for a given time is called electric energy consumed in the circuit. If a current I again let if a current I flows through a circuit for time t under a potential difference of V, then the work done to maintain the current in the circuit is given by W is equal to VIT. W is equal to VIT. As I have told you already in the above expression when we were discussing power, electric power, this W is equal to VIT. How it is equal to VIT, you can see it from above. This work is stored. This work is stored in the source of EMF in the form of electric energy. Thus, we can write instead of W, we can write E. E is equal to VIT. Or we have calculated above V into I is equal to P. So E is equal to P into T because P is equal to V into I. Electric energy is equal to electric power into time. The SI unit of electric energy is joule. Like other energies, the SI unit of electric energy is also joule. Now there are other units of electric energy. That is the commercial unit. For example, now let me define what is 1 joule. If power is 1 watt, T is 1 second, then electric energy E is equal to 1 joule. So also we know that this electric energy E is equal to V into I into T. So if V is 1 volt, I is 1 ampere and T is 1 second, then E will be equal to 1 joule. The commercial unit of electric energy is called a kilowatt hour, kWh, kilowatt hour, or it's also known as board of trade unit. Board of trade unit, or simply we can call it unit of electricity. Kilowatt hour, also known as board of trade unit, or simply we call it unit of electricity. So as you see in your homes that we use 2 units of electricity, 3 units of electricity, means when somebody says that we use 2 units of electricity at home, it means he uses 2 kilowatt hour of electricity. 2 kilowatt hour of electricity. So kilowatt hour is not unit of power, it is unit of electric energy. It is the commercial unit of electric energy. Now see 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 1 into for K we substitute 1000, kilo is equal to 1000, and for W we substitute W, and for hour we substitute 3600 seconds, because 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. You can calculate it yourself. 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. So it becomes, when we multiply all these quantities, we get 36005 times 0 Ws means 365 times 0 W into S is equal to J. So it becomes ultimately equal to 3.6 into 10 raised to the 6 joules. So 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 3.6 into 10 raised to the 6 joules. Now let us take another topic, that is carbon resistors. I hope you will have understood the above 2 topics, that is electric power and electric energy. Now let us discuss carbon resistors. The carbon resistors are made from a mixture of carbon, that is graphite powder, and ceramic. Ceramic, that is made from clay. Ceramic is made from clay. These two things are mixed together to form carbon resistors. Carbon resistors are suitable to withstand high energy pulses while having a relatively small size. Carbon resistors are cheap to produce, they are compact, and can be directly printed onto circuit boards. They also reproduce resistance fairly well within practical requirements. Now, as you have seen that there is no unit written on carbon resistors. Carbon resistors, we have to calculate the magnitude of the resistance. There is, you will not see like other. For example, if you see a capacitor, you will see that its magnitude is written there, 3 farads or whatever it may be, 3 microfarads or 0.3 microfarads. But for carbon resistors, you will not see that resistance. Its resistance is equal to this much ohms. So what is done? There is, we see a color code for carbon resistors. We use the color code to calculate the magnitude of the resistance of a given carbon resistor. For example, if you are given a carbon resistor and you are asked how much, what is its resistance, you will not see anywhere written on it how much its resistance will be, but you will see certain codes. You will have to use those codes, and they are called color codes for carbon resistors. Now let us see how we calculate a resistance from these codes. The value of the resistance and their percentage accuracy are indicated on carbon resistors available in the market by a color code printed on them. The color code for carbon resistance is given below. Now you have to memorize this table which is given below. What you will write? Horizontally you will write color, then the letter, then number A, number B, then multiplier C, then color, and ultimately tolerance. Tolerance, that is L. Tolerance L. You will write these things horizontally. Now vertically, what will you write? What will you write? You will write the colors. So first color is black. That first color is black. As you can see here, first color is black, and its bold letter is B. Now number for it is 0, number A, and number B for it is again 0. Multiplier is 10 raised power 0. Okay, and then there is another color that is gold, and for gold the tolerance L is 5%. Tolerance L is 5%. It is for black. Now for brown, remember one thing: this 10%. It is just tolerance. It is 10% for brown. So it is again B. Then it is number A is 1, number B is 1, and multiplier is 10 raised power 1. Then there is silver, and for silver the tolerance is 10%. Similarly, this 10% is not for brown, it is just for silver. You can write it here, 10% it is for silver. 10% is for silver, and 5% is for 5% is for gold. Now then there is another color, third, that is red. And for red, the first number is 2, the second number is 2, and the multiplier is 10 raised power 2. And if there is no color, then for that it is 20%. For no color, it is tolerance is 20%. I can explain you in the below example. Till then, you just remember that there is orange. For orange, it is 3. First number is 3, second number is 3, and the multiplier is 10 raised power 3. For yellow, similarly, it is 4. For green, it is 5. For blue, it is 6. For violet color, it is 7. For gray, it is 8. And for white, it is 9. You can use a book. You can see this table also from your book. Now, how to remember this thing? You have to remember the below sentence. B.B. Roy for carbon register. For remembering the above table, you have just to remember the following sentence. That is B.B. Roy, great boy, very good wife. B.B. Roy, great boy, very good wife. Here B stands for black, then it is blue, then it is red, then it is orange, then it is yellow, then it is green, then uh, it is blue. For example, this one, and this first one is black, the second one B is brown, and this third B is it is blue, and V is violet, G is green, and W is white. So BB Roy, great boy, very good boy. If you want to remember these colors, you can use this sentence. Now, two types of registers are available in the market. One is strip type and the other is dot type. Strip type and dot type. What is strip type register? It has three strips A, B, and C close to each other on one side, and one strip that is L on the other side, as shown in figure. This has three strips A, B, and C. They are of different colors. We will see it, and there is another strip that is on the other side of it. This is just like a cell. Cell you buy from the market. It is just like a cell. It has three strips on one side. They are very close to each other. That is A, B, and C. Then it has another strip on the other side. That is strip L. Now to find the resistance, we have to use the following formula. R is equal to AB into C plus minus L. R is equal to AB into C plus minus L. For example, if first strip A is equal to yellow, if the color of the first strip A is yellow, and we from the table we see that it is at number 4. It is at number 4, and if the color of the strip B, second strip, that is color of strip B, it is if the color of the strip B is red, if the color of the strip B is second strip it is red, and color of the third strip, that is C, it is orange. So it is orange. The color of the first strip is yellow, the color of the second strip is red, and the color of the third strip is orange. It is orange color. Okay, then here the value of A is 4, the value of B is 2, for red it is 2, and the value of C, it is 10 raised power 3, because it is at number 3. And for L, if the color of the L is gold, that is if the color of the tolerance, which is if it is gold, then we can use the above formula, that is R is equal to AB into C plus minus L. R is equal to AB into C plus minus L. We substitute the values. For A we substitute 4, for B we substitute 2 into 10 raised to power 3 plus minus 5%. For L it is, for gold it is 5%. So when we calculate it, it becomes 42000 into plus minus 5% ohm. So the resistance of this resistor will be 42000 plus minus 5% ohm, or it can be equal to 4.2 into 10 raised power 3 plus minus 5% ohm. Now there is another type of register which is available in the market, that is dot type register. Dot type register has a body color A, the end color B, and dot C on one side and a strip L on the other side. It has a dot on one side and strip on the other side. Now to find its resistance, use the formula, same formula as I have told you, R is equal to AB into C plus minus L. For example, if a body color A is equal to red, suppose its color of its body is red, it, and if its end color B is yellow, suppose if it is end color B is yellow and dot C is green, and if it is dot C is green and the ring L, that is strip L, it is in the form of a ring, and if its color is silver, if its color is silver, then we use the table, we see that its resistance will be equal to R is equal to AB into C plus minus L. Now A is equal to 2, B is equal to 4, and multiplied is 10 raised to power 5 plus minus 10% for silver. So it becomes 240,005 times plus minus 10 raised to power 0. So it can be equal to 24 into 10 raised to power 5 or 2.4 into 10 raised to power 6 plus minus 10% ohm. Now let us calculate how we combine the resistances, combination of resistances. Why we combine resistances? We combine resistances because somewhere we need less resistances and somewhere we need greater resistances in a circuit. In some circuits we need higher resistances, and in some circuits we need lower resistances. So in order to make the resistance lower or higher, we combine them. Now there are three types of combination of resistances. One is resistances in series, then the other is resistances in parallel, and then there is grouped series as well as parallel combination. Now let me first tell you what is series combination of resistances. Resistances are said to be connected in series if they are joined end to end. That is, if the LHS of one is connected to the RHS of the others. For example, I told you we have two types of resistors available in the market. Let us consider the three strips, the side on which three strips are there. Let us consider it LHS, and one strip which is on the other side, let us consider it as RHS. If the LHS of one resistor is connected to the RHS of the other, which means that if the three strips, the side having three strips is connected to the side having one strip, then the resistors are said to be connected in series. Let me again explain it. We have two types of resistors available in the market. One is strip type resistor and the other is dot type. Let me take the example of, let us have strip type resistors. Strip type resistors have three rings on one side, that's three strips on one side which are close to each other. Let us treat it as LHS, and one strip on the other side, let's treat it as RHS. If LHS is connected, LHS of one resistor is connected to the RHS of the other, means if three strip side is connected to one strip side, the resistors are connected in series as shown in the figure. You can see it from the figure. So here we have three resistors R1, R2 and R3 connected in series. LHS of one is connected to the RHS of the other. Now when a voltage V is applied across the combination, now so we have a circuit, and when we switch on the circuit we see that a potential difference is V, it sends a current across the circuit. A current I flows in the circuit, as you can see from the figure. It flows from positive to negative terminal of the circuit of the cell, which is the same in all the resistances. Now we see across V1, across R1 the current is I, across R2 the current is I, and across R3 the current is I, because charge cannot accumulate anywhere. Current has only one way to go through, current to go from positive to negative. It do not have any alternative path. So current will be same. Current will be same because charge current is different, then it means charge has accumulated somewhere, which is not possible by conservation of charge. So current has only one way to go from positive to negative. So current across R1 will be I, current across R2 will be I, and current across R3 will be I. Now using Ohm's law, V is equal to I R. Now if V1, V2 and V3, when I is same, R is not same, it means V voltage across, voltage drops or voltage or potential differences across R1 and R2 and R3 will not be same. Let V1, V2 and V3 are the voltage drops across R1, R2 and R3. Then using Ohm's law, V is equal to IR, we get V1 is equal to IR1, V2 is equal to IR2 and V3 is equal to IR3, because I is same across R1, R2 and R3. Now using superposition principle, we stated that the total voltage drops, the sum of the voltage drops across R1, R2, R3 must be equal to the total potential difference, that is V. So V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3, which means IR is equal to IR1 plus IR2 plus IR3, which means IR is equal to IR1 plus R2 plus R3, which means R is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. Now if there are n resistors connected in series, then R is equal to R1 plus R2 plus so on Rn, or R is equal to summation I is equal to 1 to n. It is I is equal to 1 to n Ri. Thus when resistances are connected in series, the total resistance is equal to the sum of the individual resistances. The total resistance is equal to the sum of the individual resistances. Now resistances in parallel. Resistances are said to be connected in parallel if their LHS is connected to one point and their RHS is connected to the other point. Again, let me tell you the three strips which are close to each other. Let us treat it as LHS, and a strip which is on the other side, we treat it as RHS. If the side with three strips is connected to one point and the side with one strip is connected to other point, then the resistors are said to be connected in parallel. Now consider three resistances R1, R2 and R3 as shown in figure. When a potential difference V is applied across the combination, a current I flows in the circuit. Since the charge electrons has three alternative paths to follow, that is, some electrons will follow from A to B along R1, some will follow along R2, and some will follow along R3. It depends upon the resistance of the resistor. If the resistance is smaller, then more electrons will follow through that path, and if the resistance is greater, smaller number of electrons will follow through that path. So if we see that the current will not be same in this case. The current along R1, R2 and R3 will not be same because number of electrons following through R1, R2 and R3 will be different. So let I1, I2 and I3 are the currents flowing across R1, R2 and R3 respectively. Now the potential difference V is same. Why it is same? It is if we go along R1, it is between A and B. If we go along R2, it is between A and B, and if we go along R3, it is between A and B. Same 2 points, A and B. The path may be longer or shorter. As we know that this potential difference, it doesn't depend upon path. It is independent of path. If the path is longer between 2 points A and B, the potential difference will be same. even if the path is shorter. So it doesn't depend upon the path. It only depends between the two end points. Points difference depends upon only between only on the two end points A and B. Then using Ohm's law, V is equal to IR, it means I is equal to V by R. I1 will be equal to V by R1, V is constant, I2 will be equal to V by R2, and I3 will be equal to V by R3. Using conservation of charge, we get I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Suppose if total number of electrons were 100, 40 electrons crossed across R1, 30 across R2, and the rest across R3. Then the total number of electrons 40 plus 30 plus 30 will be equal to 100, means I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3, which implies V by R is equal to V by R1 plus V by R2 plus V by R3. Which implies V into 1 by R is equal to V into 1 by R1 plus V by R2 plus 1 by R3. This implies 1 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Now, if there are n resistors connected in parallel, then 1 by R will be equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus so on 1 by Rn. Or 1 by R is equal to summation I is equal to 1 to n 1 by Ri. 1 by R is equal to summation I is equal to 1 to n 1 by Ri. Thus, when resistors are connected in parallel, the reciprocal of the resistance of the combination, 1 by R is the reciprocal of the combination, is equal to the sum of the reciprocals of the individual resistances. Thank you. See you again.